What's going on, guys? So in this video we're going to be talking about a very specific house, as you saw by the title and the thumbnail. We're talking about the house of Azzaro. So a lot of really good scents come from Azzaro, and usually they get pretty cheap for the most part. They make some great daily wear stuff, casual stuff, cold weather, warm weather, date night. They have something for everyone at a pretty affordable price from discounters. And I happen to have quite a large amount, mainly from three particular lines from Azzaro. And I narrowed it down to my 10 absolute favorites from the house. I want to talk to you about them, so stay tuned. So considering it's pretty much just these three particular lines and it's a few flankers from each, I figured I'd just cover each line individually to go through the 10. So we're going to start with the Azzaro Pour Homme line. And for me, one of my personal favorites is one that does not get talked about at all. It's one of the Pour Homme flankers. It is called Azzaro's Ginger Lover. Obviously, as you could tell by the name, it's based around the note of ginger. And it's a beautiful, spicy, crisp and bright type of ginger. Such a good fragrance. I haven't worn it in a while, so it's been a minute since I've smelled it. It gets most notably compared to YSL L'Homme Ultime. Very popular YSL L'Homme flanker that's been discontinued for a little while now. I smell it floating in the air. What's different here is you don't have the rose note that's in Ultime. So if you're not a fan of rose, this might be the better option for you. I'm not sure what going rate is for this fragrance these days. For this particular line, there was 4 of them. This, Wild Mint, Amber Fever, and Naughty Leather. I have all of them minus Naughty Leather. I mean, not Naughty Leather, Amber Fever. It was 5 of them, actually. I have 4 of the 5. Amber Fever is the only one I'm missing. But this particular one, I get a little bit better than average performance, like 6-7 hours range type of stuff. Nothing super strong, but it is very bright. It's not the most juvenile of scents, but it's also not the most serious either. Great daytime wear. They can kind of be signature scent worthy if you're a fan of ginger. There's some bright citrus here, if I remember correctly. I think it's a lime note. There's some nice fresh and woody vetiver. It's got an aromatic appeal to it because, like I said, the ginger is very bright here, even though there's no lavender or clary sage or any of those types of aromatics, juniper, anything of that sort. It's just a lovely fragrance through and through. If you haven't tried this one, maybe, I don't know, see if you can get your hands on a decant or something like that. If you're a fan of ginger, maybe something you should look into. But one of my personal favorites from the house, the Azzaro Pour Homme Ginger Lover. Next, coming from that same little segment of flankers for Azzaro Pour Homme, which the 4 I do have, they're all good. I do really like Naughty Leather and Wild Mint. That's the 2 of the 4 I have that didn't make the video, because I could have put all 4 of them in here, honestly. But Hot Pepper, this is my personal favorite of the 4, because there's no secret that I like spicy fragrances. This is more on the sweet, spicy, and aromatic side of things, a little on the musky side. They only give you 3 notes for these fragrances, but there's definitely more going on. Admittedly, a bit more one-dimensional and linear for the most part. Doesn't drastically change, but subtle changes will appear where the aromatic nature, the brightness of the top settles down. There's some beautiful pink pepper here that adds this nice soft and sweet, spicy type of smell. Pink pepper is typically a little bit more of a sweeter spice. I forgot what the red pepper note is in here, but it's not overly, as the name would insinuate, hot. It's not a super red hot type of spice. It's more soft and sweet overall. There's a little bit of a warming quality to it, but it's more fresh and spicy overall. And like I said, there's a little bit of a musky tone. I don't remember there being any musk in the notes, but it does settle into a bit of a kind of musky, softwood tone. I believe it's cashmere wood or cashmeran, same thing, is the base note. And it does offer a little bit of a soft, musky, almost powdery, lightly powdery tone to the dry down. This is a lovely fragrance. This is one of my favorites for the upcoming fall season at the recording of this. That's just around the corner. I'm currently right smack dab in the middle of, we had temperatures in the 60s today. Rest of the week is forecasted for the mid 70s range. So I'm in prime fall territory as far as the temperature, so I can start wearing stuff like this a little bit more, and I love spicy fragrances this time of year, and this is, for the money, one of the better ones out there. I think this is the main one you can still find pretty cheap in like the sub $40 price point from discounters online. And if my opinion matters to you at all, this is the main one to get, in my opinion. As long as you like spicy fragrances, it's worth trying. One of my favorites is Azzaro Pour Homme Hot Pepper. Now, if I could only keep one Azzaro Pour Homme fragrance, it would definitely be this one. This is kind of the definitive version of the Azzaro Pour Homme DNA, in my personal opinion. This is one that I kind of feel like is even better suited for the winter than the fall. Though you can pull it off in the fall, but this one is such a strong warming quality to the spice and the way the scent profile comes across. I think it's ideal for the cold. We're talking about Azzaro Pour Homme Intense, the Eau de Parfum. Beautiful, sweet, boozy, very, very warm and spicy, still aromatic. This fragrance stays true to the original Azzaro Pour Homme's DNA with that bright, aromatic, spicy aftershave type of smell. Very barbershop-esque type of feel to it, but much more modernized with this heavy dose of cinnamon that provides this warm spice. It's got an ambery feel and a lot of booze. I don't remember the boozy notes specifically. I want to say it might be brandy or something like that because it's got a bit of a sweet, boozy tone. This is so good. Performance is fantastic. This is pretty beastly for the most part. Moderation is key. This is one that does better with being discovered because it can be overwhelming if sprayed, liberally. You go heavy on the spray with this, it's cloying, it's choking, it's powerful. It will really, damn near fill a room. It won't fill a room completely. I mean, it depends on your skin and how many times you spray it. But for me, this one is strong off of my skin. That's why it's so good to cut through the cold. It's warm, spicy, very aromatic, sweet and boozy. That's pretty much sums up the fragrance with a lot of performance to boot. I mean, it's my absolute favorite. You can find it I paid like $35 for this from Kingdom Fragrances a while back. And kind of going rate is in the $40 range online. And it's a damn steal at that price point. My absolute favorite Azzaro Pour Homme fragrance, Azzaro Pour Homme Intense. Then the last of the Azzaro Pour Homme line for this video is my newest fragrance from this line that nobody else is really talking about. It doesn't get a lot of love. It's kind of flying under the radar. It's getting cheaper and cheaper. And if you like citrus aromatics, you might like this one. We're talking about Azzaro Pour Homme. This is the Cologne Intense Flanker. I want to say this came out last year in 2021, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think so. And it's a little coniferous. It's kind of got that citrusy, piney green, almost earthy type of feel, like a pine tree in many ways. Not completely green. Definitely has a nice hefty dose of citrus. I want to say it's lime in here as well. It does have a lot of lavender, though. If you're a fan of lavender fragrances, you'll probably really enjoy this one. Performance is average, just slightly above average. Another one that's not quite a beast, but definitely not a weak fragrance. There's a mastic note in here that provides a little bit of an earthy, powdery tone. Slightly musky feel. The dry down's very interesting and doesn't really smell like a bunch of other things. The opening, it's typical citrus aromatic type of stuff. Citrus and lavender, it's what you would expect. But where it dries down, that's where it becomes a bit more coniferous and has that musky, almost slightly powdery earth tone. I think it's quite lovely. Year-round type of stuff. If you want something that's a little bit different from typical citrus aromatics, where you still get that hit of familiarity in the top, but it dries down and comes into its own fragrance and its own scent profile, then you might want to look into this one. Definitely a really good one. I think it's super underrated. Azzaro Pour Homme Cologne Intense. Next is the fragrance that sparked this video idea in the first place, because I took a shower a little while ago. I haven't sprayed on my fragrance of the evening yet. I plan on spraying this. And matter of fact, we'll just spray it now, but we're talking about Azzaro's Wanted by Night. One of the most popular fragrances to ever come out of this house. This is some really good stuff. Give myself one spray on my forearm so I can kind of just sniff and enjoy. Sweet, spicy, ambery. There's a little bit of a smooth tobacco in the dry down. There's a lot of cinnamon up top. This is a beautiful fragrance. I'm glad I have a big 5.1 ounce bottle. I don't wear it all the time. I may never go through this bottle, but it's one that I can wholeheartedly recommend on a regular basis to people. Is it more on the basic side, a little bit youthful? Sure. If you've moved into where luxury niche fragrances are kind of your thing, I could see where this can be a little bit boring for you. But even people that really enjoy niche fragrances, I feel can find uses for this. This is a casual evening out. This is a great date night, first date type of fragrance where it has a little bit of playfulness. It's a little flirty, not quite as serious, but doesn't smell mature in any way. That's usually first impressions. You don't want to risk something of them saying it smells like an old man. You don't have to worry about that with fragrances like this. It has a familiarity to a lot of people because it has that often used kind of Invictus sweet opening, but doesn't completely smell like Invictus. And this one performs really, really well also. This is another one that in a, close quarters environment, date night situation, maybe go easy on the trigger, leave some room for discovery, pull her in close type of thing, because if you spray this one heavy, it's going to be really loud. This is a potent fragrance. So if you're in an open setting or y'all are just hitting a bar or something like that, by all means, spray away. But close quarters, my personal opinion, go a little easy on the trigger. But this is one that you can find for a really good price, right around $40 for 100 ml bottles from discounters, and it's kind of the quintessential fragrance of the line. It's kind of the spokesperson for the Wanted line. It's the most popular one, has been for a while now. Again, the fragrance that sparked the video, I'm wearing it currently. The Azzaro Wanted by Night. Now, this is my personal favorite Wanted flanker. I do have a decant of the new The Most Wanted Parfum. I'm actually even somewhat of a fan of the, belittled and kind of kicked to the side Wanted Tonic, the original Wanted, underappreciated these days because there's so many good flankers. But for me, The Most Wanted is the best. This is the cream of the crop for me personally. It all comes down to taste. I know some people prefer the new The Most Wanted Parfum, the flanker, to this. And honestly, I have no need for it. It's warm, it's spicy. There's this gorgeous sweet toffee. I love the way that toffee note comes across in here. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. The reason I wanted to go with Wanted by Night this evening for my scent of the evening, I just haven't wore it in a while. I've been smelling this one on and off and spraying it randomly on my arm because it's just an addictive scent profile to me. I absolutely love this one. This one is worth sampling. Youthful, nothing serious, again, just like the entire Wanted line, but there is a sexiness to it. There's an attractive, alluring quality to the scent profile. It will pull people in. It will pull your lady in, most likely. I can't guarantee that. At the end of the day, she either likes the scent or she doesn't like the scent. But based on my personal experience, it'll definitely pull her in. It's extremely attractive. You can't go wrong here. It's one of my favorite designer releases of 2021. Top 3 release of the year for me personally. Definitely one of my favorite Azzaro fragrances. This is Azzaro The Most Wanted. So next, we're talking about the Chrome line. We covered 4 Azzaro Pour Homme fragrances, 2 from the Wanted line. The rest, these last 4, are going to be from the Azzaro Chrome line. And we might as well start with the original Azzaro Chrome. I have nothing but the utmost respect for this fragrance. It has spawned countless copies, cheap clones, inspired by renditions, and a ton of great flankers in its own line that we're going to go over a few of them here in just a minute, but the original's still great. That beautiful citrus, metallic, soapy shower gel smell. Very replicated. This makes me think of high school. This was very popular when I was in high school, on into a young man after high school. A lot of people were wearing this. I was one of the people wearing this for sure. It's a very nostalgic, late 90s, early 2000s, quintessential young man's fragrance. And it's still good to this day. It still performs pretty well, though I'm sure it's been reformulated a bunch of times at this point. It's been around for years and years and years. It still performs, because I know when you hear the term reformulation in this fragrance community, that's, that scares people sometimes because they immediately think weaker performance, and that is not the case here. Not in my experience with this bottle. Admittedly, is a few years old now, but I mean the fragrance has been out for over 20 years, So this being a few years old is no big deal. I don't wear it that often. I wear it for nostalgia's sake here and there. That's why this 30 ml bottle has lasted me so long. There's a little dent. I do wear it sporadically because it's just such a beautiful fragrance, but it's more about a time period. It's a moment in time fragrance for me. So I'll always have a few sprays possibly this bottle, honestly, moving forward because I just have so many fragrances. But I appreciate it for what it's done for men's fragrances and the moments in my life that I was wearing it for the fond memories of those times. This was, damn near my signature scent at one point in my life. So, got to pay my respects because it's still one of my favorite Azzaro fragrances is the original Chrome. So this is one of my personal favorites. This has that Versace Mano Fresh type of smell. It smells like Chrome mixed with Mano Fresh. We are talking about Azzaro Chrome Sport. Strange bottle design. Love the frosted glass. Only thing though, the cap has kind of broken over time. It's kind of like I can pull it off. It's cheap. Don't get me wrong. It's not the highest of quality or anything like that, but it is what it is. It's something I have to fight with when I want to spray it. But the juice inside is just so beautiful. Gorgeous, musky citrus smell. Bright, fresh, super uplifting, attractive. Great gym fragrance. Great casual fragrance. Great refresher on a super hot summer's day. This is really good stuff. Not quite as metallic and heavy dose of shower gel, soapy shower gel, as the original. Definitely has more of that musky citrus smell that you'll find in Versace Mano Fresh. Like I said, it's kind of a combination of Chrome meets Versace Mano Fresh and can still be found in the sub $30 price point. This is really good stuff for the money. Another one of those cheap Azzaro gems that are out there that I don't wear as much as I used to. There was a moment in time within the last few years where this dent came from that time where I was wearing it pretty rapidly, and it's kind of been sitting on the shelf. Admittedly, one I should go back to a bit more. I just have so many that share this scent profile for the most part that I kind of mix it up between them. So this one definitely needs to hit the rotation. If nothing else, maybe I'll wear it tomorrow to the gym because, like I said, this is a good gym bag fragrance too. And when I say gym bag fragrance, I don't mean super weak. I just mean 2 or 3 sprays. It's nice, fresh, clean, enjoyable for myself. And it won't be too much to be a gym bag fragrance because honestly, you don't want a super strong fragrance at the gym. That's just not fair to those around you. But it's still a great fragrance worth trying. If you like Versace Mano Fresh, maybe there's something a little off-putting about it for you, but you're a fan of Chrome, this might be the take that you're looking for. Definitely one of my favorites, Azzaro Chrome Sport. Smells like Chrome, but not completely. It smells like it belongs in the line. Has a little bit of the DNA, but it's more aquatic, minty green, fresh, and there's a little bit of a light herbal tone with the woody backdrop in the dry down. We are talking about Azzaro Chrome Aqua. At one point, this was my favorite version of Chrome until the last fragrance that's in this video gets discussed anyways, but this is really good stuff. The mintiness is not overpowering, so it's not too much because it's a synthetic mint, so it doesn't really have that toothpaste type of smell that some people relate synthetic mint to. It's got such a strong aquatic tone, lovely juicy citrus that's not too tart at the top, and like I said, it's a little bit of a light herbal feel in the backdrop with some soft woods. This is a beautiful fragrance, slightly above average performer again, not a weak fragrance, but not super strong. Another one that's kind of in that 5 to 7 type of hour range in longevity. Projection, average stuff, nothing spectacular and super strong, nothing too close to the skin. Just a very enjoyable fragrance. The coolest looking color scheme in my opinion too. This frosted teal with the white cap. It's good looking stuff right there. I mean, it honestly is. It's an addictive scent profile for me. That's why I keep going back to it. To sniff on it. If you haven't tried this one yet, you're probably missing out. If you're a fan of Chrome, this is one of the better Chrome flankers to ever come out. Admittedly, I haven't tried all of them. I've never tried Chrome Intense or was it Under the Pole, I think was the name of it. I haven't tried that one. I have a bunch of them, don't get me wrong. There's so many out there. I get it. It can be a little much to figure out what's worth trying. But in my personal opinion, this is definitely one of those that's worth trying. Hence the reason it's in this video in the first place, because it's one of my favorite Azzaro fragrances. I'm talking about Azzaro Chrome Aqua. Last but not least, those of you that watch me on a regular basis, you know exactly what this fragrance is. You knew when you saw the thumbnail and the title, this was going to be in here. It's my absolute favorite version of Chrome. It is Azzaro Chrome Extreme. Smells like Azzaro Chrome meets Acqua di Gio Profondo. Very similar in scent profile. God, I love it. So aquatic, so blue, such a great blue fragrance. And again, Bottle looks amazing. This almost navy blue frosted glass. I mean, that's just sexy looking. I'm sorry. Gotta love the way this one smells. Lovely aquatic tone, a little bit of citrus, a bit musky, but more aquatic than anything else. It's got this saltwater type of feel to it. Very summer appropriate, but this is one that performs well above average. This one borders beast mode territory right there. This one's in that 9 to 10 hour range of longevity on my skin, and it's pretty loud for about 2 hours before it starts to sit a bit closer to the skin. This is really good stuff. Can be found in the sub $50 price point, sub $40 price point if you're lucky in some places, but usually you can find it around 50 bucks. And for 50 bucks, you're getting your money's worth in performance. It is on the more synthetic side because it is a chrome flanker, so it does have that metallic sharpness that the line's known for. It does tie directly into the original's DNA, more so than Chrome Sport and Chrome Aqua that we spoke about previously. This has more of that sharp metallic gel smell, just heightened. It's an extreme version of Chrome, like the name will indicate. Probably the one that's most worth your money in the Chrome line, to me personally anyways. So definitely get your nose on this one. If you like Acqua di Gio Profondo, maybe want something a little different, or you like Acqua di Gio Profondo and don't want to spend the money, you can save 20 or 30 bucks from discounters versus that at discounters and just get this. And you're getting pretty much 70 or 80% of the scent profile with just as much performance. Azzaro Chrome Extreme. Well, that is my 10 personal favorite Azzaro fragrances. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What's some of your favorites from the house? What have you been meaning to try, just never got around to it? There are several. About 2 handfuls of Azzaro fragrances that didn't make this video. I have right around 20 fragrances, roughly. Some of you are probably like, where's Chrome Legend? I like it. It's just not one of my 10 favorites. What about Chrome Pure? I like it. It's just not one of my 10 favorites. And so on. So definitely check out this house. Dive into it a little bit more if you haven't, because like I said in the beginning of this video, there's some really good affordable gems hiding all over these discount sites from the House of Azzaro. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of my 10 favorites and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.